For me, this is all the world. There's beauty, there's ugliness, and there is death.
Yeah, but does it have the internet? Hi, I'm Kevin from the SDP, and this is the 007 Diamond Jubilee. Our story starts on the open seas where British and Soviet submarines mysteriously disappear. Soon after, MI6 learns that the blueprints for a submarine tracking system have leaked onto the black market and sends 007 to Egypt to pick it up. Coincidentally, the Soviet KGB sends a female agent to investigate the same case, so she and 007 end up working together to prevent a nuclear war. Said KGB agent is Anya Amasova, codenamed XXX. Because of the danger to both sides of the Iron Curtain, she works with Bond on the same case. In effect, she becomes a personification of detente, a period in the 1970s when NATO and the Soviet Union softened tensions with each other. That is, until she discovers that Bond had killed her old boyfriend during a pre-credits scene. Her performance up to that point is sadly a little understated, but takes a turn towards stern and tense when she realizes what Bond had done on that mission. While it's nothing compared to the villain's threat of nuclear warfare, her vow to kill 007 after completing their mission together lingers over the final act and adds a welcome new dimension to the plot. The detente analogy only goes further with the addition of Anya's boss in the KGB, General Gogol, who would appear in 6 consecutive Bond films. Again, he and XXX are competing with Bond and M to achieve the same goals for mutual benefit, providing at least a partially amicable dynamic among both parties. If the name of his actor sounds familiar, it's because he previously played the role of Morzeny, director of the Spectre training camp in From Russia with Love. The villain is Karl Stromberg, a shipping magnate. Whilst not one of the more memorable Bond villains, he deserves credit for the reasoning behind his evil plot. The way he sees it, humanity is driving itself to extinction, so he only wishes to accelerate the process and give mankind a fresh start in his undersea communities. This leads to an awesome rebuttal from Amasova.
That does not justify mass murder.
Huge props to the writers for making him look like a sensible man, only to remind us why we're fighting him in the first place. Stromberg is served by 2 henchmen, Sandor, who barely lasts one scene, and Jaws, a 7-foot-tall assassin with steel teeth. Jaws is super strong, for some reason, and his preferred method of execution is biting his victims below the neck. He truly feels unstoppable. Plus he creeps out my mom. Bond's new car is a Lotus Esprit, which is able to convert into a submarine and is equipped with multiple armaments, mud screens, rockets, and mines. Seems like overkill, especially since it's only used in one scene, but don't tell me you don't want one of those. Also, it's not technically a gadget, but you gotta love that Union Jack parachute from the pre-credits.
Q, have I ever let you down?
Frequently.
The theme song is Nobody Does It Better, The Spy Who Loved Me by Carly Simon. A poignant love song, and the title serves as a rather sweet sentiment. The song and the film score were composed by Marvin Hamlish, whose works include The Sting and The Way We Were. Apart from the title song, the soundtrack is sadly hit or miss, with dated disco-influenced tracks here, including a remake of Monty Norman's theme, classical selections there, and, of all things, music from Lawrence of Arabia for a scene in the Sahara Desert. I expected better of you, Eon Productions. Most of the shots in the opening credits show Silhouette Bond and or Silhouette Anya doing spy stuff, primarily atop of backgrounds of smoke and colored lights. The technical aspects of the effects started to show their age right out of the gate, but in terms of content, it fits with the detente theme of not only the song, but the entire screenplay. On that note, unlike the other novels in the James Bond series, 1962's The Spy Who Loved Me was more of a romance drama. The main character and narrator was a Canadian woman who gets roughed up at a motel in upstate New York, only to be rescued by a passing-by Bond. And depending on what you were expecting, it sucked. Apparently, Ian Fleming shared my viewpoint. He left orders on his will that only the name could be used for a film. And to that I say, good on ya, mate. On the plus side, the 2 thugs in the book provided the basis for Sandor and Jaws, 2 of this movie's henchmen. You may have noticed that the plot to this movie is basically recycled from the adaptation of You Only Live Twice. Then again, if you'll consider both novels, you'll realize that this was not only an enforced move, but a highly welcomed decision in the face of such previous farcical outings on the silver screen. The Spy Who Loved Me scores 90%, an A-.
How does that grab you?